Hello, we are today reunited, the UNESCO, the EZLN, and a representative of the Mexican state for an intercultural dialogue regarding the Zapatista movement. The question surrounding this intercultural dialogue is, how should a modern state be configured in order to ensure the integration of cultural diversity and creation of a real climate of equality and equity? Does someone want to start?
Yes, I'm the Governor Ornelas. I'm the representative of the Mexico government. Here I'm looking for attachment between everyone, and if we can't, our arriving a good place and a good talk. So we don't want to fight and anything else. So in my position, I want to start this with the asking you what you want really, and we can go to arrangement.
Okay, first of all, what the EZLN is asking is to stop prioritizing the capitalism movement and stop exploiting our lands and all the indigenous lands, because they are disposing us of our own lands. The lands are not from the landowners, but from the people that work them. Second of all, we want our rights to be accomplished. We do not want to be educated in your terms. Those are our first two things we want.
So starting for the first thing, the capitalism is something that are our economic system, so are a little impossible to change right now, and we don't have the authority to do that. But the thing about your lands, it's the lands have a owner already, so if you take it is stolen lands, and that not legal thing to do. So this is something you can do right now. The lands have a owner. You work in the lands, but the lands have an owner, so it's impossible stolen the lands from their actually owners.
Okay, so you're talking about stealing lands. What happens with the Mayan train you're planning on building? You're going to take a part of our lands, of the lands of Chiapas, and here I am going to show a map where I can illustrate the route that is going to be taken by the train. Here you can see that the train starts in a zone called Palenque of Chiapas, and a lot of houses and a lot of lands are going to be destroyed. How can you tell us that the lands don't belong to us, but then come and destroy the lands that do belong to us?
This is a national project, so the authority is direct with the president. So the owner of the lands, the actual owner of the lands, sold these lands to us to can build this. But yes, it's controversial. The totality of the lands are now sold already to us, so that is why didn't finish the first stage of the project. So this is something I don't have the authority, because this is a national project, is with the president, and it's something that he must be talked to him.
We understand the position of the Mexican government. However, for centuries, indigenous people have been set aside as the other in their own territory. So it is important that the Mexican government can ensure that their cultural rights are not separated from the human rights, and that it is part of their territory, even if right now it cannot be given to them. There must be some type of compensation you can give to the Zapatistas.
In cultural ways, we have a idea of projects that build centers where they can go and have a cultural things that they want to do, the language, the traditions, and everything else. Because the schools and others officials placements have to be in a Mexican globally way, so they must be in Spanish. They have to have the CEP uh, continent and everything else. But if you have a center of your culture, you can do inside them everything you want in your cultural way. But in schools and other official place, the thing is we must to be attached to the subcontinent and the Spanish language. And the Spanish, because I know exists a lot of other indigenous is language, so this is something impossible to the schools in that language, because official we speak Spanish at national level.
I understand the point that you just said, but there is also a right to ourselves in our own language, because this is an element of a cultural our cultural identity. So it is our right to be taught in our own language, also in Spanish. So we are asking bilingual and bicultural uh, a way of teaching us.
Yeah, the thing is you can make your own schools, the private ones, and have the language that you want inside them and the culture you want, but in official public schools we must be in Spanish.
Yes, we understand both positions from the EZLN and the Mexican state. So the UNESCO is proposing an agreement where it requires interculturalism to be a fundamental part of the Mexican state policies. So we just need to ensure that there will be institutions, maybe like the center, indigenous center that Governor Ornelas is mentioning. So the intercultural knowledge should be promoted, financed, and developed by these institutions. And their main objective should be to respect and acknowledge indigenous people's education, respecting their autodetermination and decisions. However, we are not saying that they need to be implemented in the public schools, just to ensure that there's a center and institution to help them.
Yeah, that is the idea of the centers. I have a point where they can do the cultural things that they want and have a economic help to improve this. So don't let die the culture and improve and make it alive again.
Okay, so we agree on the construction of the centers, but we also want that in our schools, instead of teaching any other language, we would want for you to capacitate people in order to speak our language. Because how are we obligated to learn Spanish, but then you cannot learn our language in order to teach your things to us? So we are asking that our teachers could speak both languages.
So the thing about the Spanish is because every country have an official language, and this must be respect in the public ways of this country to don't make any misunderstanding into different language. So in Mexico, the official language is Spanish. So we must do the things in Spanish in order to have official content and don't have misunderstandings and these things. The thing is, we try to teach Spanish to everyone to have this control in the language way, but you don't obligate to do. But yes, the thing is the official content must have to be in Spanish. This is something that must be, and we can change that. We can start to teaching different language in every cultural place, because you have like 16 different language, and this is certain in way something a little impossible to us or very difficult, because where we start, if I start with you, this is unfair to the another ones. If I start to another, this is unfair to you. So if I have the money to start every place and every place at the same moment, I do it. We do it, but we don't have that resource, money, and personal.
So talking about start, I don't believe that is the appropriate way to attack this problem. To wait to have enough money to uh, to attack all of this at the same time. But I'm going to change the subject now. We would like to retake the agreements of San Andres in order for you to not be able to exploit our lands and to regain all the rights and to be able to govern ourselves.
So I talk to a lot of people in my place. The thing we can do is this. I don't know if you like it, but this is the thing we can do. The proprietor, the owner of the land, can be a co-owner with you. The thing about this is you can't be the owner of the land, but you can share the owners with the actually owner of the land. And if they want to do something about the land, you have to sign about it. If they want to sell the lands to a company, industry, or anything, you have to be agreed with this, and they can do anything without your consent. And I improve in our allows prestation, so you have a better secure and everything that a better lifestyles. So this is something we can do, and it's something we can do, but in a medium term we can do right now. But this is something we can share with you, and if you agree, we are starting to work in that now. This is something we can do.
Okay, so the ACLN agrees with this. We think that it is only a short-term solution to all of our problems, but to be clear, this is not the end. We will not stop fighting for what is ours, for our rights. But for the moment, we do agree for this co-ownership you're proposing us, and to all the other services that you're offering us, because it is an advance to what we had before.
Thank you. And this is something we can work together, not against us. So this is the right way to do this.
Yeah, so I believe the agreement we are reaching about the educational centers focused for indigenous people and the co-ownership of the territory, it's a good strategy and a good way for the Mexican state to ensure that the international agreement by UNESCO, the Universal Declaration on Cultural Diversity, is reached, and most of the articles will be accepted and respected. So for this, Mexico will be able to achieve interculturalism, and it's a right step in the correct direction. So is there anything else we can reach an agreement to?
I think that for the moment it is all.
Yeah, we think that is a good start to do this. So we are working it.
Excellent. So thank you for this intercultural dialogue. I believe we have reached a great agreement.
Thank you to you too. Goodbye. This is Governor Ornelas.
Thank you.
Thank you.